So, Elaine, if you, I'll give you an opportunity here to answer that same question. What is literacy and how does it apply to the work that you do?
Well, I like Alvin Toffler's quote about the illiterate of the 21st century, who will be someone who maybe they can read and write, but they really don't know how to learn, unlearn, and then relearn again. And that leads me to think about research and definitions and all sorts of things, ways to look at literacy. As we look at reading, writing, listening, thinking, speaking, viewing, and all that, and kind of doing that in a collaborative world in a global society. So Connie Jewell came up with this thing a couple of years ago called a literacy through a disciplinary lens. And she had some lenses, and in my book, Keys to Literacy Instruction for the Net Generation, I included a few additional thoughts about literacy, looking at literacy through a disciplinary lens. And the first one is, I think we need to have our students think and learn like they're scientists. They need to look for evidence and wonder what's going on, and they have to be able to create higher level questions and think at higher levels, and we need to challenge them to come up with these questioning methods. But they need to know how to visualize and search for information like a scientist. And they need to experiment with their learning and share it with others, and be comfortable sharing it with others when they're reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Another lens is we need to teach our students at the universities and the teachers and adults, whomever, that they should be thinkers like they are writers. So I think, Deborah, you'll like that, because I really think we have to look at, remind them to look at writer styles, look at other writers, learn from other writers, write like other writers that we like, and then be creative in our own way. And then also, I really, being a word study type person with comprehension, I really believe we have to challenge them to use the vocabulary and language of the content or the topic they're talking about. And so we want them to be literate when they, with information, information literacy. We want them to be good writers and know how to be word conscious, as Isabel Beck would say. Another thing, we want them to think and learn as if they are historians. Like, they explore and search the internet, and they go out there in these vehicles of learning, and they look for the facts, and they try to dispel the facts, and they're searchers of how can I really believe this and share this with other members of society, even through virtual field trips or sharing with others while they learn about history and the world together. Finally, I added the one piece called Thinking and Learning Like a Philosopher. One of my favorite things was I saw a video about these young students in kindergarten who were taught to question and become thinkers very young. And they were little mini philosophers. And this kindergarten teacher had these kids sitting together and disagreeing and agreeing with each other. They would say, oh, I like what you said, but I disagree. So these little young children were able to become, they really started young, teaching them to be thinkers and to use all the literacy skills of reading, writing, listening, speaking, viewing, and collaborating and making it in the global world. Because when we're discussing with a diverse population of people, we learn so much from each other about their cultures. So those are the kind of things I like to teach my students. How do we take literacy and really impact it in our world? And